In a move that sent shockwaves across the global energy market, Canada and Qatar, two major players in the global energy landscape, have jointly announced their intention to cease all imports of United States oil. This decision is not just a simple trade adjustment, it represents a seismic shift in the dynamics of global energy politics. The announcement has left many questioning the future of the United States oil industry and its role in the international energy market. The ramifications of this decision are expected to ripple through the global economy, affecting everything from oil prices to international relations. This unprecedented decision comes amidst escalating trade tensions and a rapidly shifting global energy landscape. The move is seen as a direct response to the United States' recent trade policies, which have been criticized by many of its trading partners. The United States, which has long been a dominant player in the global oil market, now faces an uncertain future. The decision by Canada and Qatar to halt imports could lead to a surplus of oil in the U.S., driving down prices and potentially leading to job losses in the American oil industry. This bold maneuver by Canada and Qatar represents a significant escalation in trade tensions between these nations and the United States. It is a clear signal that these countries are willing to take drastic measures to protect their own economic interests. It signals a growing dissatisfaction with United States trade policies and a desire to reduce dependence on American energy. This move could also encourage other countries to reconsider their own energy policies and trade relationships with the United States. The decision has the potential to reshape global energy flows and accelerate the transition towards renewable energy sources. As countries look to diversify their energy supplies, investments in renewable energy technologies are likely to increase. The move also reflects the growing assertiveness of both Canada and Qatar in safeguarding their economic and environmental interests. By reducing their reliance on U.S. oil, these countries are positioning themselves as leaders in the global push towards sustainability. By taking a stand against United States oil imports, they aim to protect their domestic industries and promote a global energy transition. This decision could serve as a catalyst for other nations to follow suit, further accelerating the shift towards a more sustainable energy future. The implications of this decision are far-reaching and could have a profound impact on the global energy landscape. Analysts are already predicting significant changes in oil prices and shifts in global trade patterns as a result of this move. It remains to be seen how the United States will respond to this challenge and what the long-term consequences will be for the global energy market. One thing is certain: the world is watching closely as this dramatic turn of events unfolds. To fully grasp the significance of Canada and Qatar's decision, it is crucial to understand the broader geopolitical context. The global energy landscape is not just about the supply and demand of oil and gas, it is a complex web of political, economic, and environmental factors that influence international relations and national strategies. The global energy landscape has undergone a dramatic transformation in recent years. Traditional energy powerhouses are being challenged by new players, and the dynamics of energy production and consumption are shifting rapidly. The United States, once heavily reliant on oil imports, has emerged as a major oil and gas producer, thanks to the Shale revolution. This technological breakthrough has allowed the U.S. to tap into vast reserves of shale oil and gas, significantly boosting its production capacity. This newfound energy independence has emboldened the United States to pursue a more assertive foreign policy, often using energy as a leverage tool. By reducing its dependence on foreign oil, the U.S. has gained greater flexibility in its international dealings. The imposition of sanctions on countries like Iran and Venezuela, coupled with the ongoing trade war with China, has created a climate of uncertainty and instability in the global energy market. These actions have far-reaching consequences, affecting not only the targeted nations but also the global supply chain and market prices. Furthermore, the growing urgency of climate change has added another layer of complexity to the geopolitical equation. Nations are grappling with the need to balance economic growth with environmental sustainability, leading to significant policy shifts. Countries around the world are under increasing pressure to reduce their carbon footprint and transition to cleaner energy sources. International agreements, such as the Paris Accord, are pushing nations to commit to ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. This has led to a surge in investments in renewable energy technologies and a gradual shift away from fossil fuels. Governments and private sectors are pouring resources into developing wind, solar, and other renewable energy projects, aiming to create a more sustainable energy future. In this context, Canada and Qatar's decision to halt United States oil imports can be seen as both a reaction to United States foreign policy and a strategic move to position themselves advantageously in the emerging global energy order. By diversifying their energy partnerships and focusing on sustainable practices, these nations are not only safeguarding their economic interests, but also contributing to the global effort to combat climate change. The shale revolution, a technological marvel that unlocked vast reserves of oil and gas trapped in shale formations, has fundamentally transformed the energy landscape of the United States. This breakthrough was made possible through the combination of hydraulic fracturing, commonly known as fracking, and horizontal drilling techniques. These methods allowed energy companies to access previously unreachable resources, leading to a surge in domestic energy production. This technological advancement catapulted the United States to the forefront of global energy production, making it one of the world's leading oil and gas producers. The impact of this shift cannot be overstated, as it has reshaped the global energy market and altered the dynamics of international trade. This dramatic shift from energy importer to exporter had profound implications for the United States economy and foreign policy. The newfound energy independence has provided the country with a significant economic boost, reducing its trade deficit and enhancing its economic stability. Additionally, it has allowed the U.S. to exert greater influence on the global stage, using energy as a strategic tool in international relations. The surge in domestic oil and gas production created jobs, boosted economic growth, and reduced the United States' dependence on foreign oil. Thousands of jobs were created in the energy sector, from drilling and production to transportation and refining. This job creation extended to related industries, further stimulating economic growth and development across the country. It also provided the United States with a powerful geopolitical tool, allowing it to exert greater influence on the global stage. By becoming a major energy exporter, the U.S. has been able to support its allies and counter the influence of other energy-rich nations, thereby reshaping global alliances and power structures. However, the shale boom has not been without its critics. Environmental concerns over the fracking process, which involves injecting high-pressure fluid into shale rock to release oil and gas, have sparked widespread protests and calls for tighter regulations. Critics argue that fracking can lead to groundwater contamination, increased seismic activity, and other environmental hazards. Environmental concerns over fracking, the controversial extraction technique used in shale production, have sparked widespread protests and calls for tighter regulations. Communities near fracking sites have reported health issues and environmental degradation, leading to a growing movement against the practice and pushing for more sustainable energy solutions. Moreover, the rapid increase in United States oil and gas production has disrupted global energy markets, leading to price volatility and creating winners and losers in the global energy game. The influx of American oil has contributed to fluctuations in global oil prices, affecting economies around the world and challenging the market positions of traditional energy exporters. Canada and Qatar, both major energy exporters, have found themselves increasingly competing with the United States for market share. This competition has led to shifts in global energy alliances and strategies as countries adapt to the changing landscape of energy production and consumption. Section 4. A Tariff Tit-for-Tat. The decision to cease U.S. oil imports comes on the heels of a series of escalating trade disputes between the United States, Canada, and Qatar. The Trump administration's imposition of tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from Canada and other countries, citing national security concerns, sparked retaliatory tariffs from Canada on a range of U.S. goods. This tit-for-tat tariff war has strained trade relations between the two countries, traditionally close allies and trading partners. The trade dispute with Qatar, while less publicized, has centered around allegations of unfair trade practices and state subsidies in the energy sector. These trade tensions have created a climate of uncertainty and distrust, making it increasingly difficult for businesses to operate across borders. The decision by Canada and Qatar to target U.S. oil imports can be seen as a strategic move to inflict economic pain on the U.S. and gain leverage in ongoing trade negotiations. Section 5. The Canadian Perspective. Balancing trade and environment. Canada's decision to halt U.S. oil imports reflects a complex calculus of economic and environmental considerations. On the one hand, Canada has a long-standing and mutually beneficial trading relationship with the United States. The two countries share the world's longest undefended border and are deeply integrated economically. However, Canada is also grappling with the need to transition to a cleaner energy future. The country has set ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and is investing heavily in renewable energy sources. By reducing its reliance on U.S. oil, Canada aims to signal its commitment to a low-carbon future and position itself as a leader in the global fight against climate change. This move also allows Canada to diversify its energy imports and potentially strengthen ties with other energy-producing nations. Section 6. Qatar's Gambit, Consolidating Energy Influence. Qatar, a tiny nation with outsized influence in the global energy market, has its own strategic reasons for joining Canada in halting U.S. oil imports. As the world's largest exporter of liquefied natural gas, or LNG, Qatar is keen to maintain its dominance in the global gas market. The surge in U.S. LNG exports in recent years has posed a direct challenge to Qatar's market share. By aligning itself with Canada and reducing U.S. oil imports, Qatar aims to pressure the U.S. and potentially gain concessions in the global gas market. Furthermore, Qatar's decision can be seen as a way to strengthen its ties with other major energy players, such as Russia and China. Both countries are eager to increase their influence in the Middle East and are looking for reliable energy suppliers. By forging closer ties with these countries, Qatar aims to enhance its geopolitical standing and secure its long-term energy interests.